Don't concentrate on the finger or you will miss all that heavenly glory.
So let's just say that I make my own simulation.
GOAD podcast.
Silence my phone.
Heavy breathing. GOAD podcast. Welcome you, everybody. Hello.
No audience today.
No studio audience today.
Not today.
Well, fine then. We didn't need a studio audience. Fine. We're not hurt. You know what hurts us is when you don't download or don't subscribe to our podcast. When you don't subscribe to our podcast, we get a little hurt.
In our heart. It hurts my heart.
Hurts my heart.
Hurts my heart.
When we post our podcast on Facebook and on group and all those things, and you don't share it, that hurts my heart.
Yeah. You guys
Are they
love
just
us?
mean to you? Mean to
no, they're
us?
not being mean. They're just they don't take it seriously. They go, oh, look, how cute a podcast.
Yeah.
I don't know. They probably don't think about it because people don't think about podcasts like that. But we think about it like we're trying to grow an audience, trying to develop some kind of side hustle thing where we can kind of get things off of our chest
Hustle
in kind of
people.
an entertaining way and hopefully build an audience. And
And I'm trying to hustle people.
we're trying to hustle people.
I'm just trying to steal money.
Oh!
Well, and that was it. That was. He's all trying to steal. He's trying to steal money.
Yeah, just don't.
From where?
Don't leave your wallets out.
No, I won't. Not my.
Okay.
No, I'm not going to leave my wallet.
All right, good.
You're going to steal money from the viewers,
No, from you.
from the
Live audience.
live audience.
The
Out
live
there.
audience is outside right now.
The live audience is outside vaping. She can't be bothered.
It's all right.
Where's that vape at? Stop bogarting the vape.
Hey, there's no sign in here that says no vaping. So
There's no sign in here that
There
says
isn't. Yeah, you can
No.
vape in here. I don't care.
there you go.
whatever. Want to see the bleeding lungs too. Josh is not on the whoop chicken.
No,
This
not
week.
today.
Why is that? You trying to go to sleep tonight? Oh, you're sick.
Dude, I breathed in and I swallowed that breath mint.
Yeah, you
Oh, I didn't know what was going on. I thought
Dude,
that
it
was...
went straight down my throat.
So he's sucking on a Mentos, and I asked him a question, and he choked on it. And I didn't know what he was doing.
I forgot the question because I thought I was gonna die.
These Mentos get real slippery.
Yeah, they do.
And then
I just
then you
yeah.
inhale, it goes right through, man. Your intestines are going to be minty fresh.
Man, that was crazy. Yeah, I didn't drink any coffee today, and no, I'm not trying to sleep early. I just didn't drink any coffee.
Just didn't feel like it.
Yeah.
He thought, well, he'll bring his natural, normal, calm self
Ambiance.
to the microphone.
Ambiance.
And
Ambiance.
I mean, this is kind of an intense week anyway, because we're talking about the destruction, the end of, if you will, the whole world.
Doomsday.
End of the world.
Yeah, not the universe. The universe has been in constant turmoil
Apocalypse.
since it started. Not necessarily the
Doomsday.
apocalypse, but when you think about all the ways that science is talking about how the world can end.
Right. Which is funny to me and good to me because as a Christian, I go, well, I know how the world's going to end, so I'm not worried about that. I mean, I'll do my part in, saving the environment and what I can and whatnot.
Wasn't it supposed to end like at December 21st, 2012?
Oh, the Mayan calendar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it was supposed to, and then to I say our as Christians credit, even though it's not us that did it. It was that one, it's that one guy from Family Bible something or other that started doing all those bus bench ads, talking about how, oh no, it wasn't. It was a few years ago. This guy started running all these bus bench ads about how Jesus is going to come back on a particular date.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, he knew the date.
Yeah, he knew the date. And you're just
Right.
like, dude,
Right.
Like,
Totally
you know-
ruined it for all of us.
You know how many?
I know.
Yeah.
And I
Made
missed
us.
that. I guess I
made
missed
us
that
all
day.
look bad. Made us all look bad. Right.
Did I miss
Makes
the
us-
day?
Yeah, it makes us all look bad. That's for sure. And you missed it.
Man. That's
As
horrible.
it turns out, well, look, just so you know how it went down, Jesus came back, and since you weren't around, we were like, well, we can't go.
So you didn't miss the day.
All for one, one for all. No, I didn't miss it.
Oh, man. I meant to miss it because I didn't want anybody else to
No,
go.
Those are the silly guys, but they, but in the news they're always talking about, like, right now it's the coronavirus.
Right.
Pestilence.
Yeah. And throughout history there's always been those. I mean, plagues.
Right. And from what I've heard, it hasn't really killed more people than the flu kills every year.
No, it has.
It has. Oh,
No,
okay.
for sure. The bubonic plague, I think, killed 25 million people. It killed almost a third of the population of Europe.
No, I'm talking about the coronavirus.
Oh, no, the coronavirus is
Yeah.
totally vato. They don't.
Yeah, like it hasn't killed more people than the flu, from what I've heard. Like it's not as big of a deal as
No, I
they're-
think they were just concerned that it was getting a little crazy,
Yeah.
because,
They have it contained now, right?
yeah, I mean, it
Yeah.
started in China, and then everybody was leaving China, going to Australia and coming back here, doing all those kind of things. And so it was spreading all over the place. And that's really all those things take. Like, you think about,
The movie Outbreak.
yeah, outbreak. When you think about the bubonic plague, you think about, there's been plagues throughout the centuries that have killed hundreds of thousands, millions upon millions of people.
The Black Plague.
Yeah,
the Black Death.
Yeah, the Black Death was transferred like a few different ways. It ended up over a third. I think it was a third of the population of Europe.
Yeah.
Dead people everywhere. They were dying so fast. There wasn't enough people alive to bury them all.
It was from rat pee, right?
Fleas on rats.
Oh, fleas on rats. There you
Yeah.
go. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it was spreading too. It spread by that, and then there was some way it spread through the air.
Rat pee.
Feces, because then it was people were urinating and defecating in the streets.
Oh, that's
So
right.
there was a lot of
yeah.
those diseases,
I'm sure it became airborne after, people were dying, just like
sure.
fermenting out in the street.
for sure. And so there's so then you take that and you think, now what if you could put those people on an airplane and they could travel anywhere within a few hours? They're thinking major pandemic. You could wipe out on, like, you wipe out everybody.
Right.
That'd be nuts.
Which
Like on purpose?
I mean, well,
Why not-
That's
You know-
a different topic, right?
That's the
not
same-
a different topic, but that's a different.
well, when you think a terrorist attack,
right.
how do we know that they're not gonna do it? Instead of strapping a bomb, why don't they inject a virus and go cough on everybody on an airplane or at an airport?
Yeah. Why not?
I hope I didn't give that idea.
I'm sure they
Oh,
thought of
you-
it a
oh, you did
long
not.
time ago.
I hope it was already thought of. Yeah.
You did not,
But I
yeah.
hope it wasn't thought of.
There's-
but is that happening?
Well, one of the
You never know.
We don't know.
One of the challenges, I guess, now with bio or genetic engineering is that it's a relatively monitored kind of thing. So you can decide and you can order things online that'll give you the ability to change the genetics of your cat, let's say, and let your cat you can change your genetics so your cat glows or something.
Yeah,
would
the
love
glow in the
that.
dark cat.
Right, the
remember
glow in the
that?
dark cat.
The nightlight cat.
There
Don't
are
be
peop-
scared.
There's people who are trying to make glow-in-the-dark grass so you can line the freeways with it, so you always have kind of natural light, that kind of stuff. But it's unregulated. So what they're saying is that you get something that's unregulated. You get some crazy genius in the backwoods of Kentucky that decides he's tired of living and he's tired of everybody else living. He takes that same kind of test or same kind of genetic whatever he's tweaking with. Makes a crazy ass, nuclear, virus bomb or something. I don't know. And it just spreads like crazy.
That'd be crazy.
It spreads like crazy through moonshine and angel dust.
Ugh.
Just wipes out
Right.
Half of Kentucky.
half of Kentucky.
Yeah.
And then If you wanted to contaminate the upper classes, like if you decided, oh, I'm tired of the top 1%, blah,
Put it in the
blah,
water.
blah, 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 you put it in cocaine and high-priced drinks.
No,
Right.
just the water.
They don't drink water.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, on the rocks.
Hey,
Yeah. Well, no, just water.
now,
You could, if you wanted to kill everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, you put it in the water. You could run that thing through the Los Angeles aqueduct that runs from Northern California all the way here. That's where we get our water.
Yeah.
You could run it through the LA aqueduct, probably smoke half of the United States.
boom,
Boom.
Boom, boom.
boom, boom. Okay, so that's one way to go. Now, when you were talking about the Mayan calendar, do you remember when that was debunked?
Yeah.
As soon as the day came. And we
Yeah,
were
what
still
day?
all here.
No, I'm asking, what day was that?
December 21st, 2012.
2012, yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny. And what do you think, like, why do you think everybody put so much, not everybody, but a majority of the people that believed in it, why do you think they put so much of their faith in that calendar?
Because they're superstitious.
Superstition, just,
Yeah.
that was it.
Yeah, and because the Mayan calendar, it just stopped on that day. They never finished it.
Right, but I mean, was there something else the calendar had that was like totally prophetic or they just, that was it? That was it.
That was their prophecy.
You're like, oh my gosh, it ends. We've run out of paper. Therefore,
We've run out of stone or whatever it was.
Yeah, it was written on
made out.
stone.
Yeah, stone.
That's funny.
but that would be the equivalent to us writing down a prophecy and running
They
out
say
of
what
paper.
happened. They didn't get to finish it because when Cortez came and wiped them all out, they were never able to finish the calendar.
They got smoked before they could finish the calendar, and then all of a sudden, whatever
Yeah.
1,000 years later, we're all talking about, oh my gosh, we're all gonna die.
Now nobody's talking about that calendar.
I know. Yeah.
No, because we're all still here. Well, it's like all the Nostradamus stuff. He says, "Oh, well, this date's gonna come, and everybody's gonna die." And you're
Yeah.
like, okay, well, still here.
Right.
I think I'm gonna die right now
Right.
from swallow that Mentos.
Yeah, you might. Your
Dude,
insides are minty.
I can feel it.
Can you? Yeah. Hell yeah,
Yeah,
you
dude.
can. It's mentholated.
Methylated.
No, it's menthol or whatever. It's whatever that is.
Methylated.
We sound like idiots at 8 o'clock at night. We've been up all day working. We're just, let's talk about the end of the world.
Man.
Here's some statistic. There was the Antony plague in 165 AD. Greek physician Galen described an ancient pandemic now thought to be smallpox. It was brought to Rome by soldiers returning from Mesopotamia. The disease was named after Marcus Aurelius Antoninus, one of two Roman emperors who died from it. At its height, the disease killed some 5,000 people a day in Rome. By the time the disease ran its course, some 15 years later, total 5 million people were dead.
25 million.
Yeah. Whoops.
That's a lot of people.
Heck yeah, it's a lot.
What was the disease called?
I lost it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
It was
happened.
named after a guy that brought it, right?
Yeah, it was Antonius Aurelius. That guy.
You down for some Antonius Aurelius?
Yeah, no, yeah, down for some. You got that Antonius Aurelius blood. Heck to the no. But there's other ones. Why did I lose it?
I don't
Look
know,
at
but
this. Idiots.
I think Jared is dying now because he's always coughing at night like crazy.
I think I've slowed down.
Slow
You
down
have?
coughing.
Yeah.
I told him to go to the doctor, but he never did.
I stopped coughing. I don't even think I coughed tonight so
You
far.
just did right now.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so used to it, I don't even notice.
I'm still having a hard time breathing still from when I was sick.
You guys are gonna look. You might be the incubators for something that kills off mankind.
I feel like I'm
Dude,
incubating.
dude, take my blood.
They're also predicting. Scientists are predicting that at some point. Now they're predicting it's like 4 billion years away or whatever. However they come up with that math, but that a solar flare will then. Well, no. Let's take solar flares first because it might even happen sooner. That's talking about the dying of the sun. But there's a very real chance
Nuclear
that
fusion.
solar flares, yeah, that's part of it. The solar flares will knock out first every satellite in space.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
I heard about
And
that.
completely turn off the electricity. The solar flare is so
Yeah.
strong it shuts off all the electricity in the world.
Why
Shoot
would-
just right back to the 19th century?
How would it do that?
By short circuiting all the electronics.
Radioactive cosmic rays.
Cosmic rays.
Cosmic rays.
Yeah.
They're
It's
apparently
radioactive,
super
yeah.
dangerous.
They are. Yeah.
Well,
I don't know anything about them. All I know is that you better, talking 19th century, you take the infrastructure we have now that's big, densely populated cities.
Gone.
And then shoot them
Wiped
back.
out.
No smartphones, no TVs, no radios, no nothing.
I'm going to say it's probably not going to happen. And if it did,
Well,
it
good
wouldn't
for you.
last very long.
What?
Well,
it would last.
If I compared with the Bible,
They're saying it would take almost 100 years to get back to
Do-
where we are now.
I mean, would you say
That's global warming
Dude,
for you
that's-
in 12 years.
Dude,
It's going to
look-
happen in 12 years. We're all going to fry because of global warming.
You can't turn
Well,
down the
I
lights
guess
in
we-
LA for more than 20
Right.
minutes without people throwing
Shooting each other.
shooting each other
Well,
and throwing things through windows.
I know we'd come back from it. That's all I know.
I mean, if we survive,
And how long,
We'd come
Jared?
back. I don't know how long, but that's the thing. Like, because we don't know when the end of the world is. And if I say,
That's
okay,
not the end of the world. That's just a really
exactly,
bad
it's just
time.
really bad. So,
that's a really bad. Yeah, I guess that's a really bad time.
you know what I
That's
mean?
really
So
not the end
how
of
long would it
anything.
last? I don't know.
But there's also part of that solar flare too, where I guess at the center of America, no, the center of the world
Of
is
the Earth.
is a steel core or whatever
Yes,
it is,
and
right?
it gets hotter.
And it's a hot core. As that cools off, because I guess what it does, it creates this magnetic field around
Yes.
the Earth
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
that shields us from most of whatever happens or comes from the sun.
Yes.
Okay.
So once that weakens, and then the sun just decides to spit at us, we're screwed.
Yeah.
The instant freezing, instant cold,
Yeah.
done. Like not even. That's the end of the world right there.
Well, like we know.
Remember that movie, The Day After Tomorrow?
Yeah, that was a great movie.
We know at one point everything's gonna burn up, right? Everything's
In
gonna
a
burn
fervent heat?
with a fervent heat, right?
Yeah.
So,
The sun is going to explode.
how
the sun-
is every volcano in the world gonna
Suns-
explode,
no,
and the
suns
sun's
don't
gonna
explode.
Suns explode.
No, I mean the sun is a star.
Yes.
Supernovas explode. I don't think it's. I mean, if it goes supernova, I guess it could explode.
Can it go
But by then we'll be
Casanova?
long-
Nuclear
we'll be
fusion is
long
going to
dead.
get smaller, and then the smaller it gets, the hotter it gets.
and then it blows up or
And then it blows up.
cools down. Or there's other people saying that a rogue planet could come and knock us out of orbit. Can you imagine that, dude?
A planet?
Yeah.
Planet X?
I was actually reading something in some science blog earlier that said that there's one rogue planet for like 100,000 rogue planets for every 1,000 stars or something. Like,
So then-
there's just a ton of rogue planets out there
Well,
just roaming the
so
neighborhood,
then-
waiting for somebody to
What's-
leave the door open.
What's so hard about
Sorry.
What's so hard about believing what the Bible says about hey, a comet called Wormwood, it's gonna hit, boom. This is gonna happen, boom. The water, the wind, this is gonna like all the things that it says in Revelation that's gonna happen. Like
well, that's
how
plagues,
plagues, yeah,
wars, earthquakes,
earthquakes,
pestilence.
Famine.
the stars of heaven will
Yeah,
fall,
man.
right?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like you look at the science geeks. They're talking about, at some point, an asteroid is going to smack into the Earth and kill everybody.
Right. Not.
That's wormwood.
Yeah, that is wormwood.
Why are we weird for believing that the Bible is true, and yet these people are hypothesizing about some kind of meteor that's going to hit the planet? We know what its name is,
Right. We already know.
but we're the
But we're the
Right.
idiots.
Yeah,
we're the
like-
idiots.
People will say the Bible's very vague. It's not specific. And you just show them that verse. Well, what about this? A comet named Wormwood is going to hit the earth. Is that vague for you?
That doesn't seem vague. That doesn't seem vague to me.
Right?
It's a big rock. That
What kind of rock?
big one. I don't know.
and this is its name-o.
Not crack rock?
It's not a crack rock. It just gets. You imagine just like a colossal sized cocaine rock just smacking into the Mojave Desert.
Dude.
Man.
Just everybody's tweaking balls.
Dude,
They're getting stuff done only by like halfway. You got like a whole population of people with torn apart computers. They're trying to make the internet faster.
Right.
They got tape decks spread out across the garages all over America.
Right.
Just tweaking.
Just tweaking.
Yeah, tweaking. Getting nothing done.
Yeah.
Thinking they're making some difference.
Well, what's
No.
gonna?
Wow.
That would be a fun plague. You just see all of the population.
Well,
of
get
America.
those guys to figure out how to turn the electricity back on.
No, they would. You know what would happen is they'd get right to the switch and then get distracted with something else. I think I figured it out. Squirrel.
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 They're off to the races. But the plague, you think was the plague in Revelation talks about a third of mankind.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
A third of mankind.
Yeah.
Like that's a third of everybody.
Yeah. And as they open the seals, all these different things happening.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
what is the population of the world?
Right now,
Like
it's a
7 million.
Hey,
I mean,
Sarah.
7 billion.
Seven-
7.2 billion. or
something billion.
What's
Yeah.
the population of the planet Earth?
7 Earth.
Not to be confused with the planet Mars, which has zero population. Let's see. Earth formed. I didn't ask you for.
Oh, you're never gonna get
I
the
didn't
answer.
ask you. I didn't ask you for the age of the Earth. Oh, that's a number. 7 billion people.
7 billion, baby.
7.6 billion people.
Oh, I said 7.2.
Oh,
7.6 billion people. What's a third of that? That's
I don't know, man.
Well, 7 divided by 3.
7 divided by 3. What is it?
2.5.
1.75. No, it's not.
2.5. 2 point.
2 something
Yeah.
is what we've decided.
Well, 2.5 would be 5 billion. So it would be 3.25. 3.25 billion people.
No, because
300
then it'd be 9.
No, oh, you're right.
It's 2.75. Yeah.
All right, 2.75.
There you go.
I'm telling you, man.
It's 2 something, guys.
The later this thing goes, I need a spreadsheet.
So 2 billion people killed.
Oh, almost 3.
Almost 3.
Don't just disregard
Well,
the
they're-
other 500 million people that are going to get smoked that day.
Right. I don't want to.
We have to honor their memory too.
I'm sorry, people.
All right,
I'm sorry,
You're forgiven.
dude. But that's
forgive
crazy.
That's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people.
And then a third of the water is going to turn to blood.
Right.
A meteor's going to come out of the sky and smoke another third.
Right.
Yeah.
And they talked about great earthquakes, like you said,
Earthquake.
and then people wanting to die and wanting rocks to fall on them and not dying.
Oh, you went there.
I had to. I just,
You went there. Fall on us. Fall on us. And
I mean,
Jesus
I'm
said
sure
no.
you would want
They-
rocks to fall on you too, instead of being judged.
but you know
by
what
God.
I'm wondering? Okay,
Yeah.
so Revelation has it all laid out, right? Boom. Okay.
Yes.
Boom.
It's got it all laid
Boom,
out,
boom.
and it even tells you, hey, at that time, you're not going to be able to buy or sell without the mark of the beast. Okay? So at that time, when you're not able to buy or sell, unless you have the mark of the beast, you would think people would look at the Bible and go, hey, that's right there. That's really specific. we must be like right in the middle here, like right about to,
Didn't
Well, there's a restraining force.
yeah,
Thyatira go through something like that in like 2,000 years ago?
Thyatira.
wanna
Church
say
of Thyatira?
The church, I think, went through something similar to that, where where Christians couldn't buy bread or something. If you were associated with the church, I don't know. I might be. I'm totally speaking out of my butt. It's 8 o'clock.
You're
I know, yeah. Not
You
to my
smoke some
recollection.
crack, right?
I have no idea.
Not to my recollection.
I do not know.
The poor bastards.
I cannot confirm or deny these
Red.
claims.
What are you talking about, dude? What happened there? I mean,
In
where?
Thyatira?
Yeah.
He doesn't know. He just said he doesn't know. He just said he made it up.
At some point,
In Revelation,
the
right?
emperor. There's an emperor around that time. Well, there's a ton of emperors that were bad.
Right.
That they wouldn't let them buy or sell anything in that town, with if they belonged to the church.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was very secretive. You know, the church back then was pretty. That's where that fish came. You know, the fish.
Yes,
The
I know,
egg fish,
yeah,
where that's where
right.
it came. That's the
Yeah.
whole secret thing. You couldn't
Uh-huh.
even
But
tell
they-
people you were
A
Christian.
Christian,
They
right?
talk about this mark being a chip in your hand or forehead, right?
Yeah, but I mean, 20 years ago it was a barcode.
Nobody knows what it is.
You're
Nobody
saying
knows
in
what it is.
in Thyatira,
They had a chip.
they had a chip and a barcode.
Oh, those came from aliens, though.
No, they had chips.
Potato chips.
Oh, maybe they were poker
Yeah.
chips.
What are they making the potato chips in, I wonder?
How do you make
Oh.
potato
They're
chips?
deep frying the potatoes in whoop chicken juice.
Ooh.
They're making whoop chicken.
Whoop chicken
you know
chips.
what?
Little whoop chicken chips. Oh, don't do that.
That's what everybody's
That's
gonna be.
so gross.
You know what?
That sounds like a treat.
Now I know
You
what's
what?
gonna happen.
Remember what whoop chicken is?
I'm not sure now.
I
I think it's whatever we want it to be.
No, it's actually the stuff that you cough out after you've been smoking dope for 5 days.
Oh, is that what whoop chicken is?
Yes.
Well, that you can't get a shirt that says whoop chicken on it.
Hey,
We got to change the. We're changing.
I know why
No,
everybody's
it's whoop
gonna
chicken.
be deceived now because everybody's gonna be on drugs and they're gonna be deceived. You know, because they legalized marijuana, right? We can drink, and then now they're talking about legalizing shrooms.
Yeah.
Which they've already done in Colorado.
So yeah, pretty soon. I mean, I don't know
Magic
which.
mushroom.
I'm guessing like acid will be next. Something's gonna be next. Like pretty soon, all the drugs will be legalized. So everybody's gonna be on drugs. So that's why everything's gonna be. Nobody's gonna like where I think it's common sense or like wouldn't it be obvious to just see like, hey, this is really specific in the Bible. Hey, a wormwood just hit the earth. Hey, it talks about wormwood hitting the earth in the Bible.
Is that really happening?
They'd be like, oh man, we're tripping.
Dude, like last night, a big rock hit the planet, dude. I was watching the news. Big rock hit the planet. No
Yeah.
way.
No.
And then
way.
they'll just
You were tripping.
they'll attribute it to
what
something
you
else.
been smoking?
They'll be like the aliens threw a rock on the planet. They'll be like, oh my gosh, the aliens threw a rock on the planet. They won't even look to the Bible, huh?
No, they're not going to look.
No, they're not. Of course not.
They're not going to look to the Bible. I think it's fun. I think the funniest argument ever is that when all hell breaks loose and all this stuff is going down, all of a sudden then people are going to be like, you know what? I think I'll read the Bible now.
Right.
I don't know that that's going to be the case.
I mean, it even talks about an angel flying.
Two
Evangelizing, flying back and forth, proclaiming
to
Jesus,
and fro
right?
through the earth and sharing the gospel. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, well, they're going to try to shoot him down.
Probably.
What are those?
Not in California.
Am I still tripping?
Yeah, not in
Right.
California. You're going to use like slingshots.
Right. Nobody's going to
Water
have
balloons.
guns. Nobody will have guns by
Nobody will
that
have
time.
guns by then.
Yeah.
You're like, man, I wish we could. But they're going to be, they're going to be tripping. So they're going to think, yeah, those are angels.
Yeah.
Did you see that angel?
Yeah. Did you see that? Dude, did
Telling
you
us
see what
about
I'm
Jesus.
seeing? Yeah.
Angels telling us about Jesus. Yeah. And then a big rock.
Right? Yeah.
I don't know what's going to.
Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
That's it. You guys ever watch that Doomsday Prepper show?
No.
Oh my God. It is so good.
Remember Metalopocalypse?
It is so good. Metal Apocalypse.
Okay, good.
Good.
Well, I mean, what?
I don't know. I just threw something out there.
You can't just throw things out.
You can't.
Hey, you remember the Fairy Doyle?
The fairy Doyle?
Yeah.
You just threw that out there.
I did.
You're just proving a point.
I'm just proving
Yeah.
the point. Just,
But you never seen that show, though?
I don't even know if it exists now.
Yeah, it does.
Now we don't believe anything.
Now we
That's
don't
fine.
believe anything.
I forgot the band's name. There was a... Man, I forgot the band's name, but...
Rubber
They had like a
band.
cartoon show called Metalopocalypse.
Interesting.
I remember some metal cartoon that had boobs.
No,
That's
it's
interesting.
not what I'm talking about.
Yeah, they're like cartoon boobs.
That's interesting.
I was a little kid.
And that's all you can remember.
That's all, well, when you're a little kid, dude,
Right,
you know what I'm
no.
saying? It's like my dad said, you see one pair of boobs, you want to see them all.
Death Clock.
That was my influence, by the way. My fatherly influence was because he'd let me watch Scarface and Exorcist and all those movies when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
And I remember the first time I saw boobs on TV, and I don't even know how, maybe 8 years old or no, I don't know, 7 or 8 years old or whatever.
Yeah.
Still intriguing, by the way.
Remember that band?
Even before puberty,
Death
boobs
Clock?
are pretty intriguing.
Right.
And he says, you know what they say about boobs? He says, if you've seen one pair, you want to see them all.
That was his
I was like,
advice.
that's your wisdom, huh?
That's what he left to you.
That's what he left to me.
Wow.
And then he died when I was 10. So thanks, Dad.
So no more advice after
He
that.
does. So he tells me two things really stuck out at me. The boob thing.
Yeah.
And then he says, don't ever play with Ouija boards.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he says, so you're gonna go to school. You're gonna get involved, right? You're gonna have friends.
Uh-huh.
Anybody wants to ever let you play with a Ouija board, don't do it.
So, what was he?
I don't know.
Like, you don't know what kind of work he did?
No, he worked for the Long Beach school district.
Oh, okay. So he knew what the kids were doing.
He was some kind of dispatcher.
Like, this is what all the kids are doing right now. I work for the school district.
No, he worked overnight. It
Don't
was like,
play-
Don't do it.
Like security. He was like security or some kind of overnight
Oh, okay.
superintendent or some crap.
Mark Hamill was
Interesting.
on the show.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
So they were your parents. I don't know. I'm not going to ask a bunch of questions
Go
about
ahead,
your dad.
ask it whatever
Oh,
you
okay. I was like, do they care? So your mom and dad married until he passed away?
No. He left as soon as I was born.
Oh, okay. But you still visited him?
He came back, I think, when I met him the first time when I was 6 or 7.
Oh, okay.
Maybe I was 6 or 7.
Gotcha.
First night he came back, he bought me a candy bar. We walked down to the liquor store through the alley.
Oh,
I
nice.
remember that night pretty vividly. And then shortly after that, they got back together.
Oh, okay.
Then I'd wake up to them fighting about him being drunk and her pouring the booze down the drain.
Oh,
And then at some point they broke up. They got back together, and then they broke up. I'm not sure.
oh, they were on and off.
Yeah, they were all on and off.
Okay.
When he died, he was living somewhere else. Oh, no, wait. When he died, he was living at our house. So they were together when he died.
Oh, okay.
It was just still weird, though.
I bet.
It's a weird family.
Interesting.
But yeah, but he had a whole collection, like VHS movies line the wall. So it was Scarface and like gangster movies and then demon movies. So I got to watch all the Godfathers, Damien, Poltergeist, all those
Yeah.
scary movies. Got to see all those when I was a little kid.
That's funny.
Probably didn't do hardly any damage.
Right. Well,
Oh, it killed me. My dad was the same way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he'd be like, "Here, go to sleep," and it'd put on like Friday the 13th.
go to sleep
yeah.
to this?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I can't sleep, Dad. Oh, here, watch this and go to bed.
Right. Well, there's some scenes as a kid you shouldn't see.
Yeah.
You shouldn't see Linda Blair doing the blood of Christ compels you scene.
Right.
When you're a kid, dude.
Oh, man.
You shouldn't see that ever. You could be 80 years old. You should never see that scene.
Oh,
That's a
man.
disgusting scene. And as an 8-year-old, I was like, what is going on here?
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
So it's like, my dad was whatever. You get to watch all those things.
But do you think it helps you to not be afraid of certain things?
No, I mean, I don't know that. I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Jared
I
doesn't
don't-
like
I
scary
don't-
movies.
I mean, I don't think so. I think
I don't like scary
I don't
movies.
care much for scary movies anymore either. But I mean, what they do for me is remind me that because that's just an imaginary evil.
Right.
That evil just came from somebody's mind. It's like a twisted human evil.
Yeah.
It just reminds me that there's a supernatural evil that gets well past wherever they're going.
Yeah.
It's like that's like The Exorcist was pretty brutal.
Oh, okay.
But there's, when you think about heaven and hell and you're thinking about demons and Satan
and the end of the world.
and the end of the world and you're thinking about, I mean, that's, you can easily say, yes, I'm going to go to hell and party with my friends and da 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 da. But to the extent that you've watched any scary movie that freaked you out a little,
Yeah.
it's at least 1,000 times worse than that guy's imagination.
Right. Right.
So that it reminds me of that. It just reminds me that,
Yeah.
it's just like when you watch movies about love or grace or hope, that's just an imagination, somebody's imagination of hope.
Right. Okay.
You know what I mean? That's the amount of hope, the amount of grace. When you watch a love story, that's just somebody's imagination of love. Something we understand. When you meet God face to face, that's gonna be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like I didn't like when you had a kid for the first time.
Right. Right.
Like I honestly had no clue what love was about until I had a kid. And I was like, oh my God, I would do anything. I can't believe how willing I am to die for this little baby right now.
Right.
Something we're gonna go down in this hospital. I'm fighting. I'm going
Zombies.
out.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
fighting zombies to keep this little girl safe.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know what love was, so I think that's going to be what it's like when we see God for the first. We're just going to be like,
Whoa.
oh,
Yeah.
like that's what this is?
That makes sense. That's amazing.
Yeah, so it's like just everything we can imagine is just a shadow or some fragment of what is really true.
Yeah.
You know, we can only imagine what a plague is because we read it in the news or we read it in old stories about 25% of a population dying.
Right.
But we're looking at this 1,000 years after the fact.
Right.
You know, we don't really know what it's like to live in that society
Yeah.
when people are just
The
falling out.
Emotion.
5,000 people
fear,
a day or whatever it is.
Tuberculosis.
The emotions, the fear, the panic.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a spirit or a feeling that comes over an environment when you have that kind of tension.
Death.
Absolutely. So you think in times as the Bible teaches it, is it something to fear or something you would look forward to as a Christian?
No, I don't want to look forward to it.
Okay.
I don't look forward to it. Well, look, I'm not going to be here.
Okay.
Right? And even if you're here, you know what happens after. You're good.
Right.
Right? You could be involved in all of that. At very least, what Jesus does when he rises from the dead is he conquers death and removes that last enemy of our last enemy, which is death. We don't have to be afraid of that anymore. I'm not afraid of death.
Yeah.
So no matter how bad it gets, you know, right past this veil called life, flesh, is utopia or heaven or whatever you want to call it.
Utopia.
I get more afraid for people who think it's all foolish, like it's not going to happen. I mean, scientists tell us that a meteor is going to hit the planet.
Right.
They tell us that solar flares are going to knock everything. They tell us that the sun's going to burn out. They tell us that the magnetic field in our Earth is going to whatever. It tells us that we can be blown off course by a big impact.
Right.
I mean, there's any number of things that could destroy. This is fragile.
You're right. Do you worry about how you're gonna die? Like if you
No.
don't make it to the you don't think like you don't ever think you Josh too. You can talk. You're picking your scabs there.
Not a scab.
He's picking himself. You don't think like, man, I really don't want to go out this way. I don't want to die from a plague. I don't want to die from this. I'd rather just die in my sleep or, whatever. It doesn't matter to me.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't want to die slowly.
I don't want to die.
Well, you are
painfully.
dying. You guys are dying slowly and painfully right now.
It is, but like Alzheimer's, my least favorite way of going is dementia or Alzheimer's.
Okay.
Well, Alzheimer's is 10 times worse than dementia.
Right, but dementia comes first, right?
Or you could just start with Alzheimer's, dude. You could just get Alzheimer's.
You could. As soon as I get it, though, I'm not even lying to you guys. If I get it,
Off you.
I'm going. No, I'm gonna take a couple steps before that. Well, Johns Hopkins University, I think I told you, has been doing studies with psilocybin for years on its ability to heal the brain.
Oh, okay.
And so psilocybin being that trippy stuff that makes you in the mushrooms.
Oh, okay. Mushrooms.
Right. So as soon as the doctor says, "Hey, man, you got early onset dementia or Alzheimer's," I'm going straight. I'm going to Colorado, dude.
Shrooms and then come back here for assisted suicide.
No, I'm going to come. Well, my hope is, because the theory is at least that because of the hallucinogenic nature of the mushrooms, it builds neural connections fast. And if you've ever done any hallucinogenics at all, that's got to be true because your brain is just firing on all kinds of levels.
Yeah, but then when you're on hallucinogenics, your brain is at all those firing things. It has the same as someone who is schizophrenic.
Yeah, but at the same time, you're building neural connections, which is what you're losing in dementia.
Yeah, but then it's
so I don't want to lose neural connections, so I'm going to try not to do that by tripping balls.
Well, it must be, like when we see those ads for medications and it says
Right.
this medication cures this, but it also causes the same thing it cures.
Yeah. You're not gonna cough uncontrollably anymore, but you might die.
By coughing.
Okay, well,
I love
awesome.
those commercials. I don't know. Like, I'm always like, is this a joke or is this?
No, you're not
No,
gonna.
that's real.
I
Look.
don't, is this commercial real?
We got the exact right medication for that leaky eye. The problem is
It causes leaky eye, even fatality or death.
the problem is you start bleeding through your ears, and you might crap yourself from a.
Man, the symptoms are usually worse than what. It's like, why don't you just stick with the leaky eye?
Well, it's so happy.
Leaky
I know they're
eye.
always outside playing with their friends and their family.
yeah.
Give yourself the freedom to go outside. You may die. Your whole body, right side, might become numb, and you might fall over.
Well, it's like they do the happy music. He's outside playing. And he goes, some of the side effects might be bleeding through your anus.
Yeah, right. And you're like,
That
is this a
sounds-
joke?
That sounds interesting.
Like he just said that.
I've never bled through my.
Yeah. Even
Anus.
and death is always one of them. Like, if you experience any of these, stop immediately and contact your physician.
Sure.
Yeah,
No
absolutely.
problem.
Absolutely.
Well, I like the
If
drugs.
you're having suicidal thoughts,
right.
Yeah, I like
please
the-
call 911.
I like the drugs that come with a potential of a psychotic break.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
If you decide you want to murder your whole family and go on a killing spree in your small town,
Yeah.
you might want to get help.
But the funniest thing is, man, these commercials are working because these guys are spending money advertising it, and somebody's going, you know what? I'm going to try that out.
Well, they start off with going, hey, ask your doctor about post-psychotic whatever. And then you go, hey, doc, what do you make of this drug?
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm glad you asked.
Yeah.
Because I get a commission.
Right.
Here you go.
Yeah.
Oh, I like those. I've known so many people. Not so many. It makes it sound like a lot, but a lot of people that are on like psych meds and stuff. Some of them aren't. Like I knew this girl went on psych meds. She was stressed out at work, and some numbskull put her on this crazy stuff, and just like, well, we'll adjust the dosage here and there, to see what works. Just, dude, none of that. Dude, unless you actually have a problem that solves, they're testing stuff out on people all the time.
Yeah, they are.
They just test it, and they're like, "Oh, okay, so you're having dreams about,
Murdering.
murdering your entire family. Okay, let's peel this drug back a little bit, just to, just so you're not so sad, but then you're not thinking of murderous thoughts too. So let's just pull it back. And oh, by the way, you can't just stop taking those drugs. You have to wean yourself off slowly, otherwise you have a psychotic break." Like, what are you doing to me?
Man.
Like, I don't mess with the mind, dude. I look, of all the things, if you guys start getting,
Yeah, you did.
I mean, I did, but if I had it, if they said, "Oh, hey, here's a pharmaceutical drug that you can take that'll slow down the development of dementia," or here's like 5 grams of mushrooms,
Yeah.
let's go on
Then
that.
you're messing with the mind. You just said you don't want to.
I'm still going that way though.
Yeah.
because it
But
grows.
you know what? I
'Cause
think-
it grows out there somewhere.
No matter what, nothing's
It's
going
not synthetic.
Like, do you think, let me ask you guys a question. You guys think there's more depressed people today than there was
Yes.
100 years ago?
Yes. 86% of America is depressed.
Right.
Well, I think there's
And on-
more
and on meds.
diagnosed.
Well, that's what I'm wondering.
More
Is there
diagnosed,
more diagnosed, and there was the same amount 100 years ago, or there's more today because more people are depressed today? Like,
Yeah, I would
what
say
do you
I
think?
think
it
there's
is?
more people
There's more.
depressed because you
Right.
got social media, you
Well,
got
'cause
all
they're
of these
bored.
things, and then you're bored. Not only that,
Well,
but
that-
then you're seeing your family in like a different state, having fun, and then you're over
You see
there.
your
and
family.
It's like, you can't believe I'm not with my
So,
family.
well,
Look, we went to Hawaii and we had Mai Tais, and you're sitting there going, "Man, I'm sitting in my cubicle punching."
well, what
feet."
about like Tourette's and mental disease? Do you think there's more mental disease today than there was 100 years ago, or you think
don't
it's like
know.
the same?
I would think there's probably more
I don't know. I don't.
with the homeless population and.
I'm just saying, with the way the world's going, with the depression, with mental illness, with disease, pestilence, war, like with the way the world's going and it's constantly either getting worse, I would say it's getting worse. You would think, you know what? There does need to be an end, right? There needs to be an end because
Yes, it's gradual.
it's gradual, right? Because people are getting worse, their diseases are getting worse. Pretty soon, everybody, like, drugs are just
Everything has fentanyl in it now.
Everything's crazy, right? The food source is getting worse as they genetically engineer. Everything's getting worse, and in a state of corrosion, right? Our DNA is getting worse, right?
Yeah.
So if that's if everything's getting worse, then it would
There
seem
has
to
to
me
be, no.
like, hey, it's not like it's beneficial that there is an end and a new beginning.
Yeah. Well, I think there's definitely more depression, more psychotic breaks in society, but I think it's partially a result of just the fast pace, keeping up with the Joneses, trying to do your best and always falling short, quote unquote, from everybody else's standpoint. Seeing social media, seeing that you don't add up, seeing that everybody else seems to be not legitimately doing, but seems to be doing so much better than you, which is causing like tension. And then I think too, there's that kind of thing. And then there's just stress. Like life is stressful, but stress is something you can manage. You can do breathing exercises. You can kind of manage your schedule. You can do whatever it takes to manage stress. Stress is just a byproduct of a busy life.
Yeah.
But as soon as you tell a doctor you have anxiety, now you're kind of a victim of this thing you're a passive participant in this thing that you've just named. And I'm not discounting people who suffer with anxiety. I'm just saying that is overly done.
Yeah.
Like there are certain people who have totally they're anxious about everything. I get it.
Right.
But then there's just people that go, I felt a little bit of stress. I thought I would call it anxiety. I told the doctor it was anxiety, and then all of a sudden I'm on psych meds.
Yeah.
And they don't think the same. I mean, it takes dude, I've known so many people to go on these psych meds and then just
Go off?
they're off the rails, dude.
Wow.
They stop thinking straight. You're just, or they start taking Xanax. They got the dead eyes. You see those dead eyes? You're talking to them. There's nobody behind the wheel. Like, oh, man.
Bomb.
So I think it's diagnosed too much because I think anxiety can be something you're passive.
I think what happens a lot too is that people self-diagnose.
They self-diagnose. Yeah, right. But
They look online and be like, oh, those are the symptoms that I've had.
Yep, I
And
must have
I must have
anxiety.
anxiety.
Well,
Yep.
the commercials will say, hey, do you feel this, this, and this? Well, you have anxiety. Go talk to your doctor.
Right. And then the doctor's getting commission for the pills that he prescribes.
Yeah.
He doesn't give two rips. He's like, oh, yeah, you're probably anxious. Anxiety's going around,
Is that nasty?
You probably caught it
disease?
from, it's airborne.
Yeah. So now let's take the chemicals in your brain and rearrange them so you don't feel anymore.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, well, it's human to feel.
Remember
Right.
that movie Equilibrium?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, they were taking pills so they don't feel
So you
anymore
don't-
for themselves.
Like, come on, man. Like, you get part of the glory of being human is that you get to feel all the good stuff and the bad stuff.
Right. You got to take the good with the bad.
Yeah. And so, I mean, I
Bad
think
with
too
the
that people are self-soothing or self-medicating. When you talk about people who are high all the time, or people who let's not even talk about drugs. People who are just eating all the time,
Adrenaline junkies.
adrenaline junkies. Everybody has there's some vice or something that they do.
Some dragon they're chasing.
Some dragon they're chasing that calms them down for a moment.
Right. Right.
And instead of looking to God, instead of looking to something bigger than themselves, they look to their own devices or their own medication. I mean,
Dopamine.
yeah, and if you reward the flesh,
Video games.
yeah, right. If you reward the flesh enough, and you get enough of that dopamine and the serotonin kicks that come in and reward you for doing that, then you want to keep doing that.
Right.
But you get the same type of kick if you do something. If you give money away to a homeless guy or drop off food at somebody's house that needs food, you get that same dopamine kick from doing something great
Yeah.
than you do doing something stupid. And the difference is you do something generous or you do something loving, you do something that brings joy to people. That's a spiritual discipline. You get used to, you get excited about doing spiritual things. It's great. You reward the flesh, and then all your flesh wants is more.
Right.
You know?
Oh yeah.
It's the guy who gets into a fight with his wife. He retreats to his computer, starts whacking off in the corner because that's how he soothes himself. You know, oh, my wife, and then that's satisfying a visual trigger. That's an emotional trigger. That's a physical trigger.
Right.
I mean, that's satisfying that dude on so many levels. It's no wonder there's so many guys addicted to it.
But in the end, they're really not satisfied.
They're not satisfied.
No.
You know, for the moment.
Yeah, and then as soon as they're just like, oh, what did I do?
Right. And then you talk to the poor Christian guys, then they feel guilty.
Yeah.
And then they feel worthless. And then they start taking a hit emotionally about it, going, oh, I'm never going to add up to anything. I'm never going to be all that God wants me to be. And then as soon as a man starts losing hope,
Yeah.
in working towards something bigger than himself, that's a dangerous place for a dude to be.
Dude.
You know?
Yeah.
Dangerous place. Because they start seeking all kinds of self-medication.
Right. And so, what do you think? Okay, we're talking about this, and you say, okay, for me as a Christian, okay, I know, okay, the end of the world is coming. I know Jesus is coming back one day. I know I'm looking forward to a heavenly hope. So I have a mission of proclaiming the gospel, and that's what keeps me going. That's what keeps me. That's what gives me joy.
Yeah.
And so I have this purpose, like, man, I want to share the gospel with people because I know the end is coming one day.
Right.
And even if the end doesn't come in my lifetime,
You left.
everybody's still gonna die.
Everybody's
There's
still gonna die.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
No matter if you make it to the end
Right.
of the world or just the end of your life, either way, you die. And so it's like, okay, I want to proclaim the gospel. I want to get the good news with the gospel, the good news of Jesus Christ, His grace, how He draws us, you know, the redemption, the whole redemption plan, Him dying on the cross for our sins. I'm able to share that, teach the word, bam, and I have fulfillment in that. And so, I mean, my opinion, and tell me if you agree, and this is what I think a lot of people are depressed, they're not fulfilled, they have all these anxieties because they don't have that purpose. They're just, I'm here, I need a good job, I'm gonna play video games, but I'm depressed.
No, I think you're right. Because you get a guy, let's say you get a young man. I only know how to speak for men.
Yeah, just speak for men then.
Good.
We'll let Josh speak for women.
Yeah, we'll let Josh speak for women.
Sweet.
He's only got like one syllable answers all night. Sweet.
I'm tired, dude.
Picking his arm.
I know. He's trying to stay awake over there picking his arm. But
Picking the tattoos off his arm.
you know, you take let's say a young man, for instance, he gets
Pick
out of
the
high
demon
school.
out of me.
He gets out of high school. He decides, okay, well, I'm going to take some kind of year off, you know, before I go to college and pursue my whatever, my dream or my career or whatever. I'll take a year off. During that year off, he finds a job. It pays him decent. Finds a girl, knocks her up.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing you know, he's got a kid, family. Now he can't afford to go to college, or he doesn't have the time.
Yeah.
He needs money.
Right.
So he finds a decent job. Maybe it's just a job that pays the bills. Maybe it's got some upward momentum, somewhere he can take it. But it's not something he's gifted at or has any desire to do. I mean, I'm speaking probably from mostly experience now at this point. But it's, you know, it's like I think everybody has within them some certain drive that if they were doing their purpose, what God had designed them to do, that's where they're going to find the ultimate fulfillment.
Right.
And when you're not doing that, like you pick somebody who wants to be outside hunting, doing like nature stuff, you put that guy in a cubicle punching numbers, it's death. And then if he doesn't see any way out, because he's got to take care of his family, that's the manly thing to do. You take care of your freaking family. So whatever that means, sacrifice whatever you need to sacrifice, take care of your family. But you have to recognize what your gifts and your talents are and figure out a way out.
Yeah.
An exit strategy. Because what they do is they stay in the cubicle until they've absolutely had it. They can't take it anymore, and they burn their lives down because
Right.
they've been medicating with porn or drugs or whatever else for so many years because they're not happy.
Right.
Like, you just find out what you're gifted at, what you're talented at, and figure out a path forward
Right.
before you go burning down your life. But they don't know. I mean, sometimes they're young guys, whatever, older guys too.
Right.
But, you know,
And then the world ends.
then the world ends.
Mm-hmm.
But you get a bored man. There's nothing worse for society, dude, than a bored man.
Right.
Because we can find some random stuff to occupy our time with.
Right.
And
Yeah.
it's not usually healthy.
Because I agree. God's given us all gifts and talents, and if you're not using them
Yeah.
for His glory, then you're like, and you're trying to figure out your purpose because you've decided you're not going to believe in God. You're not going to believe what the Bible says,
Right.
and you're not even going to, give it a try. Then
But doing what you're purposed to do, if all men are made in the image of God,
Yeah.
regardless if they believe or not,
right.
right? The guys who don't believe in God are no less made in the image of God,
Right. They're still made in the image of God.
right? And everybody has these talents, things that they're naturally good at, things that they would naturally be fulfilled if they could do it.
Right.
That's what they need to do.
Right.
And then so, whether they believe or they don't believe, everybody has some purpose, some way that they contribute to society above and beyond themselves that will bring them joy.
Mm-hmm.
And that will ultimately give them fulfillment
Right.
without all the negative ways that they're trying to do it. But they don't. A lot of guys don't recognize that there's a positive way to fulfill themselves, other than how they've done it with drugs or alcohol or whatever else.
Right. They're doing it through self-destructive.
Yeah, they're finding a way to fulfill that purpose through self-destructive purposes.
Right. And
They're feeding the flesh more than they're feeding
That's
the
right.
spirit.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. And I would, if they're not going to believe in Jesus Christ, who created them, I would say they would never find fulfillment. But I know you would disagree.
He does disagree. Look at his face.
Yeah, I would. Well, look, I would only, but not. I don't totally disagree.
Right. I know you don't totally. There's
You
a.
know-
I know there's like.
I think they can. I think everybody can find fulfillment if they're
Right.
doing
Something
what
that
is on
makes
their
them
heart
happy.
to
Yeah.
do.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's a little different. We all need the same things by and large, but you could be fulfilled. I just don't think.
Total
the
fulfillment.
total fulfillment's going to come because I also believe that what you do that brings, when we talk about doing things for the glory of the Lord
Yeah.
or glory of God, it's you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, and you do it, and because you're doing it, you're good at it because it's a natural.
Well, I know, like,
gift set, and
if
that
I
brings
was
glory to God.
if I was supposed to be handing out food to homeless people, and I was handing out food, but I never shared Jesus, or never gave the glory to God, I wouldn't be. I'd be like, man, I'm just handing out food. Like, I don't want to just hand out food.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a different level of
Handing out food.
Yeah, fulfillment of that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's
I
what
would agree with that. I mean, it's just
Because I've done things where I've just done them. They're good things. They're great things. But then I didn't do it saying, oh, this is from Jesus, or this
Right.
is, proclaim the gospel in any way, and been like, man, that I felt totally worthless doing that.
right.
And so that's why when I look at it, someone doing something apart from Jesus, I'd say, well, yeah, they're doing good, but I wouldn't say that they're fulfilled because they're
No.
leaving
They're
out the most
doing
important
it
part.
most of the time because they need fulfillment.
Or
They're
they're-
trying to find fulfillment.
They're trying to find fulfillment. I think you're onto something because people can't be ultimately deeply or spiritually fulfilled if they're not alive spiritually.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, so in our worldview, it's, apart from Christ, we're spiritually dead.
Yeah,
So as much as we might try to seek out love and joy and peace and patience and kindness and generosity and righteousness and justice and all these things that are spiritual qualities,
yeah,
you can't possibly be fulfilled in that direction unless you're spiritually alive.
right.
You can try, but even the guy who's a non-believer who's trying to find fulfillment in giving out food because he really enjoys doing it is still doing it to satisfy his own flesh,
Yeah,
his ego, or Look at me, I'm giving out food, or
I'm giving up.
trying to pick up chicks. I'm like you. I'm sensitive. You know,
Trying to pick up on the
I like-
homeless,
I like-
the homeless chicks.
yeah, picking up homeless. Well, that's easy target, dude. Homeless chicks.
Homeless
man,
chicks.
homeless chicks need love too.
They're nuts, bro.
Some of those guys
no,
are
they're crazy.
unscrupulous.
They're crazy. They're nuts.
They're crazy, but they're or they're just they're trying to find a girlfriend over there who is kind. Oh gosh, I wish I could find a girl that was kind.
Meet him at church.
Where would I find a girl that's kind? Oh, at the starvation center.
At the starvation
What
center.
do they call it? Food center.
I just gotta give her some food. She'll be
Just gotta give her some food.
hold the carrot in front of her head.
So I don't know, man. I think yeah. So it takes a certain spiritual. You got to be alive spiritually, be fulfilled spiritually.
Yeah.
But if it's the end of the, it's the end of the world when you got a bunch of guys. It's a tougher society. You can't change a culture if you get a bunch of guys that are just sitting around watching television at night.
Right.
Not happy with their life, stressed out.
Right.
And it's and change is just right there. It's just a matter of
I like watching TV. It gives
Right.
me
Well,
fulfillment.
no.
Yeah. No, it doesn't. I'm just kidding.
I mean, it does on some level. It does. I mean, like if you're watching 4-6 hours of television a night, and you hate your job, well, look, man, take the 4 or 6 hours a night and learn what you're good at and learn what you want to do.
Right. Go to school.
and start putting a plan together to get out of the cubicle.
Right. Yeah. It's funny. You meet a lot of people that are depressed about. Oh, okay, I live in California. I'll never buy a house. I'll never be able to own a house here in California. I'll never be able to. It's like, well, then go somewhere else. If all you want is a house, go to another.
right.
Go to a different state.
If all you want is a house,
Go to another state. Yeah.
right?
And then they're like, oh, but the weather here is perfect. Okay, so what do you like more, a house or weather? Like, you want it all.
They obviously like the weather.
You
So
want
true.
it all. And if you want it all, then what in your life can you change so you can have it all?
I hate the weather.
Yeah, right. That's a great question.
I'm not a California weather fan. I'd rather it rain all day.
I love the
Every
weather.
day.
Dude, with your temperament, if it rained all day, every day, you'd be hanging from a rafter by the end of June.
Amen.
Right?
Amen. No, not amen.
Why not?
No, not amen.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah. No.
no.
No. I mean, what do you think the average person pays for like cable or satellite TV? What is it?
$150.
$150.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. A month. How much is that a year?
That's $1,500. That's $2,000 a year, probably.
$2,000
About.
a year. Okay.
So $2,000 a year, you make $40,000 a year. Let's say.
So if they're spending 6 hours a day watching TV and they're not happy with their life, they turn off the TV, learn something new, save that $2,000, and move in 5 years.
Do you know all the resources? This is what cracks me up about
Cracks?
Cracks. This is what cracks me up. This is if I had. All right. First of all, if I had the internet when I was a kid, I would be a complete depraved individual right now, for sure. I get it. So
Yeah.
God bless America. I was born when I was born. However, master classes, all these free or inexpensive educational outlets you can get online now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, forget it, dude. You might be you're going to be a little bit more depraved than we were when we were kids, maybe.
Yeah.
But at everything that is at your fingertips to learn, to lay out a future for yourself is right there.
Yeah.
It's not that expensive.
Right. Right. I remember when I was in high school, we got all these free classes on IT, and they were giving us certifications, these Microsoft certifications that people would have to pay for.
Right.
And I was young, and I was like, I don't care about this stuff. And I didn't. It was like right there. I could have got all this education for free. Well,
Right.
in a class I had to be in. And I was like, forget this.
Right. Now you can literally go. You can go on. Masterclass. You can go on. What's that one app I got?
There's a bunch of them out there.
Dude, there's a ton. What is this? This one is called
Wow, sounds like a good
great
school.
courses. Dude, I got a great courses app here, dude. I can learn anything I want.
Really?
Dude, I got here. You want to know what courses you want to know what's in the brain of
But are you gonna get a certificate?
No.
You just pay for it.
But who cares?
Well, what if you want to get it?
Of
Put it
course,
on a
that's the-
job application.
Of course, that's what got me into this position here where
Right,
had I
yeah,
just
who
gotten a
cares?
master's degree
Right.
in theology, I wouldn't own a termite company right now. But understanding nonverbal communication. Look at that. I got that. Took that. Introduction to formal logic. That's kind of stuff I'm into. Critical business skills for success.
Mm.
I mean, that was like a $150 course, dude. And it's gold.
And you took it for free.
No, I paid $150 for it.
Oh.
He thought you were talking about free stuff.
Yeah. I
Oh,
thought
no,
you-
wait. You know what? This was probably on sale. I probably got it for $49.
And you don't get a
No,
certificate?
actually, I got it for $49.
If I'm going to pay $49 for anything, I want a
It
certificate.
is such a good course, though. I don't need it. I just need the knowledge.
Yo,
I don't
you need
the-
to put it on your resume. Like,
All right. Well, maybe I need to put it on my resume. And then and there's some. Oh, this one they uploaded for free. Some free from the Great Courses February free lecture. Oh, something about beer. I don't know.
yeah, I can go on YouTube and learn anything
You can go on YouTube too
for
but
free.
but like
especially if I'm
YouTube
not.
too?
Especially
There's
if
a
I'm
YouTube
not.
too?
Yes. Especially if I'm not going to get a certificate.
well, if you're not. But look, all I'm saying is that whatever you want to do in life.
Yeah.
You're super creative. You want to do something. You want to develop websites or you want to learn coding. You can learn coding from your couch.
Right.
It's not. All the resources are there. The world, all the knowledge in the world is in this freaking phone right here. I have access to it whenever I want.
I want to cook.
You can cook.
You
can learn
can
how to
cook.
cook on
And-
this phone.
Anybody can cook. I'll get you a movie called Ratatouille.
You just need a rat sitting on your head pulling your hair.
Yeah.
No.
But
Oh, not those locks.
what you'll
Those
learn-
Goldie locks.
what you will learn is
Oh, they're
anyone,
not Goldie.
anyone can
No,
cook.
they're black.
What kind of locks would you be like? Charcoal locks.
No, they're black.
You'd be like black locks.
Black
Coal.
locks.
Yeah, black locks. Oh, that would be your
With a hint, with a hint of gray.
Dude, that's your superhero name, Black,
Black
Locks.
locks.
Let's call them blocks for short.
No, black. Oh,
B-locks.
B
blocks.
locks. Oh, B locks.
Blocks.
Oh, it's B locks, and then it spells blocks. That's funny. Yeah,
Yeah.
do that. Oh, like it says somebody wrote on a CD. It was a compilation of Christian rap, so it said C rap.
C-rap.
It's about right.
Oh my goodness.
Crap.
That's funny.
That is kind of funny.
I thought it was hyphenated, so it took me a minute to see it. I was like, oh, C rap, crap. Oh, yeah, I've listened to it. So it's about right. I'm a metal guy anyway.
Metalhead.
Anyway, did we talk about the end of the world?
Kind of.
Kind of.
I mean, about,
You guys were going on some crazy tangents. I was just listening. It was kind of fun.
right, we're getting in and out. But, I mean, right now it's not the end of the world, so it's not too late.
The
to get
restraining
Rory-
force is still here.
Yeah, the restraining force is still here.
The restraining force.
Yes.
The Holy Spirit
Yep.
indwelling
Yeah.
The-
indwelling believers.
Yeah. Once that's
The,
gone.
Spiritually alive
I'm going to encourage
warriors of
Encourage
Christ.
anyone that hasn't read the book of Revelation, read it. Go ahead and read it.
read it.
Relevation?
Revelation.
Oh, that's
Don't act like you don't know what I'm talking about.
don't act like it. Don't add an S to it either. That's
Yeah.
annoying.
Yeah, there's no S in there.
I think you should. I think everybody listening to this, all like 3 or 4 of you, should read Revelation. Leave us a comment on our YouTube or on our Facebook page, and tell us you read Revelation. You should totally read Revelation this
Especially
week.
if you believed all that mind calendar stuff and
Oh yes, especially if you believe that.
yeah.
If you believed that, you definitely need to read Revelation because Revelation lines up more with what scientific theories are anyway.
Yeah.
Pestilence and plagues and asteroids and
Absolutely.
all that stuff. So-
Locusts flying around with baby faces.
yeah, I'm not sure what to make of that.
It's crazy, right?
Really, when we talk about Revelation, I get lost. I get lost somewhere around locusts with the tails of scorpions and faces like men, and I go,
Yeah.
I'm not sure they're talking about locusts.
Right. That's something completely different. I'm sure it's demons.
It's got to be, who knows what it is, man. It's something that John couldn't explain.
Yeah.
You know, he was baffled by it too.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know. It's kind of like a
locust.
Yeah, when you read Revelation, it's like everything is like similes, metaphors. It's like
Mephidors?
it's like a grasshopper with a scorpion tail. It looks, I don't know, kind of like it's got a man face, and it's I don't know, it stings you, but it bites.
Yeah.
But it doesn't kill you. I don't know.
You know,
You know.
hair like a lion.
So who knows what those are? I mean, I know Chuck Smith always, guessed that they're Apache helicopters and stuff. And you're like, okay, good for you, Chuck. I mean, maybe. Look, maybe. It's the same thing that I tend to get.
That was more Chuck Missler, wasn't it?
Nah, I mean, that was Chuck Smith too. Missler got crazy with aliens and stuff, but I always get a little, not cynical, but I always get a little crazy. It's like barcodes, the mark of the beast. I think it's on your right hand and on your forehead, right?
Yes.
For the mark of the beast.
Yeah.
So I'm looking for a loophole. My loopholes, can you put it in my left hand?
No, they
I
won't.
guess not.
They'll chop off your hand. They'll chop off your left hand.
Who?
Whoever's putting the mark on.
Why would they chop off my left hand? Why is
So
the
you
right
don't-
hand?
Because the right hand signifies strength.
The right hand couldn't be a metaphor for your work and for what you stand for.
Of course it
Your
is.
forehead being a metaphor for what you think about, what
And your
operates your life.
face.
I'm just go put. Can you put the chip in my foot,
No.
and then I can buy bread and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Right, with my foot.
No, it's gonna
and
be.
then it's not my right
It's gonna
hand,
be
you
a
see, right?
socialist, communist society, so everybody's gonna be the same.
So you think everybody will know, hey, this is the mark of the beast?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I think if the idea is that it's an anti-Christian statement
Oh, okay.
to say we're going to starve you guys out, then
Right.
you have to.
Or you're gonna get your head chopped off.
right. Then it's going to have to be a choice that you make.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Death or
Here's
the
what-
mark.
It's got to be. See, this is what I don't get about our community is that it seems to me that you would have to know that what they're doing is saying when you accept this,
Yeah.
whatever that is,
You're on our side.
you're on our side.
Right.
So is that what you want to do?
And everybody's like, yes, I need to feed my family.
Whereas most
I need it. I want it.
yeah, I want it. Whereas most Christians I know are just like, oh no, I won't receive it. You're like, what if it doesn't mean anything? Like, what if somebody says, hey, we do chips. We're going to put chips in everybody. It doesn't even matter what worldview you have. We're just going to do this because we're going to put all your data on it. Okay.
Because there's gonna
Why is that a
be
problem?
there's gonna be ones that aren't the mark of the beast, and the only problem is the one that is a mark of the beast. That's what you're saying.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
so
what
like,
I'm saying.
say you go work for a company, and the company says, "Hey, we're gonna install these chips in your right hand so that we can scan when you come in."
Yeah.
And you're like, "Sweet, yeah, I'm gonna work here for the rest of my life. Yeah, install it."
Yeah, no problem. Now, if they say, hey, oh, by the way, in
But-
taking this chip and this job,
You denounce your faith.
you're denouncing
Yeah.
any religious belief.
Right.
And then you go, oh, no.
Yeah, that would be the difference.
That would be the difference to
yeah,
me.
the mark. You'd have to know this is the mark of the beast. I'm making a choice against God.
Right.
Where this is just for work, so I can.
It's just for work. Hey, you need this so you
I'm
can...
sure when
Go
homeboy's
to
in
the
line and
cafeteria.
he says no, and you see him getting, dragged off to get his head chopped off, you're gonna be like, oh,
But why is he going to get his head chopped off?
because you're refusing
The mark.
the mark.
And that mark is
It's worship.
coming because of a global
It's worship.
Communism,
tyranny.
yes.
Yeah.
a global tyranny that says we are not about God, and if you got to take the mark or you're going to die.
Yes.
So one world nation, right? At that
One
point.
world currency.
One world
One
currency.
world government.
One world government.
Cryptocurrency.
Man, that is so far off.
That is far off.
That's far off. 'Cause
That's what you
got
guys
Iran,
think.
You got some crazy.
Well, it
places
could be
right now.
near.
I don't know,
Could be
man.
nearer than you ever think.
Nobody's getting along though. How do you do one world anything when everybody's got nukes and they're prepared to use them?
Well, exactly. So somebody's gonna nuke somebody, and then they're gonna be like, "Hey, we're left
We need to put an end to this.
Yeah.
now. Peace."
And someone's gonna make
Oh.
that peace treaty.
Oh, let's get along. Let's
Yeah.
all get along. And here's what that get along means.
Yeah. Remember when we lost 2 billion people because we couldn't get along?
Oh, yeah. Oh, remember when we lost 2 billion people because of the Christians were
Yeah.
the
stinking Christians
taking a stand against something,
yeah.
Against sin.
against killing small babies? on the way
Man.
out or whatever it is. And you're like, oh, okay, well, I guess it makes sense. I'm always trying to
I'm not.
make sure that I understand Revelation. I don't understand it, but I mean, I have somewhat of a grasp on it, but I'm trying to understand it without the influence of Tim LaHaye books in my mind.
Okay.
I've never read them.
Oh, that's good. Yeah,
I just understand it as, hey, it's the end of the world, and then God's giving people the last chance to come to know Him.
Last chance after last
hey,
chance
guys,
after last chance
like,
until
hey.
boom, judgment.
Yeah.
Boom, judgment.
Yeah.
I flip it. It's just boom, judgment. You suck. You're gonna die.
Boom.
I'm out.
I mean,
See
just
ya.
think of
No.
it. You're going to.
I see it as His
You're
love.
going against.
Because He could
Christ
just say,
himself.
okay, that's it. Or He could say, hey, I'm gonna share, some judgment and some wrath to try to get you to turn.
Mm-hmm.
This
Right.
And then some people will, some people won't. They're just too stubborn. But He could just say, nah, forget it. But because of love, He's gonna.
Yeah, most of them won't. I mean, if you look at numbers, when God opens up the earth and consumes a bunch of people, they go down to Sheol alive.
Yeah.
There's still a grip of people that hang back and still complain about not having water or food.
Yeah.
We're sick of these squabs, or what is it?
It's like he just
The
sucked them
birds.
all up under the sky or into the ground,
Yeah.
and they still stand around going, "Oh, that sucked." But hey,
And you know what's funny is because what He brought them out
Obstinate
of.
children.
I'm tired of this, man. And
They
let's go
were-
back to get the leeks and
they
the
were-
fish and the.
right?
They were slaves and they were oppressed. You think, okay, people are depressed now. How depressed do you think they were being slaves to the Egyptians, building everything they want, doing everything they wanted, right? Having their children killed, right? Their boys killed,
Right.
And just everything they had to go through, and they were calling out to the Lord, right? Like, deliver us from this, deliver us, and then He delivers them. How much suicide was at that time before they were delivered?
No, that's really-
how much
yeah.
depression? How much? They were oppressed under a king that cared nothing for them.
And there's no gratitude. It's like, you have all these people going, "Save us, Lord, save us, Lord." And then He saves them and they go, "Not like that."
We want good food. Yeah. We imagine being saved like this.
We imagine being saved like this.
Yeah.
Don't you have like filet mignon and nice wine?
Yeah.
You're like, sure, I'm going to take you to a land. Check this out. So I'm going to take you to a land where it's flowing with milk and honey. I'm giving it to you. You just got to go and take it.
Yeah.
So then they go and they send 12 spies, right, to spy out the land because God said just go take it. But they go, "Oh, no, please, Lord, allow us, if you will, to spy out the land first." And they go, "Yeah, okay, fine.
Yeah.
Fine, go spy out, whatever."
Right.
2 of them come back going, "Yep, let's go take it." And
Right.
10 of them go, "Oh, man, they're pretty big."
They're pretty big.
They're pretty
There's
big.
giants.
Right.
There's giants.
So you're like, "Oh, save us, but not like that."
Yeah.
Okay, well, I thought there was going to be good food. Yeah, the good food's over there. You got to go take it.
Yeah. We saw what you did to Egypt to get us out, and how
Right.
everything, the cloud, and we walked through water, and but we're not going. There's giants. In the
It's
land.
so dumb. It's so dumb. They're so ungrateful for what He did in
Yeah.
getting them out of that mess.
Yeah.
Shows them where the promised land is. It's literally right there.
And then they wanted to stone him.
Go take it. And then they go, no. And then finally God says, "Okay, fine. Then you're going to wander around this desert until all of you are dead and your children will inherit the land."
Yeah.
And they go, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Okay, let's go.
We'll go." And He's like, "No, don't go.
Yeah, don't go.
Don't go.
You'll lose.
I was going to give it to you 10 minutes ago,
Yeah.
but now I'm not going to give it to you, you understand? Don't go." And they go and they die. And you're
Yeah.
like, "You're dummy. What's wrong with you people?"
Yeah. Those were probably the lucky ones that went and died instead of wandering for 40 years.
Yeah, right. That's right. I'm not going to wander around for 40 years. Let's go kill ourselves on the spears of those big giant guys.
Oh man.
Well, it's like,
Assisted suicide.
and then we make fun of them for being obstinate children, and we are ourselves obstinate children.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
like, "Oh yeah, hey Lord, I really want to be able to provide for my family. Can you allow me the wisdom to do that?
Yeah.
Oh, how about you start a company?" Yeah, not like that.
Yeah.
I was really hoping I could provide for my family this other way.
Yeah, like I was gonna go to 7-Eleven, buy a lotto ticket, and then that's how I want to provide when I win.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, like that. Okay, well, all right, Lord.
And the grace of God is yes. Yeah, you will start an empire and it shall grow and you shall be fruitful and wealthy.
Right.
Okay. I mean,
Okay.
but I really wanted a lottery ticket.
Yeah.
I was really hoping to do the shortcut thing.
Right. I'm gonna pray for 5 days. I'll buy the ticket.
And you're like, look, Lord, you know what I would do with you know my heart, Lord.
Yeah.
It's just like that's the prayer where you're just like, you know my heart, Lord. You know what I would do if I won $25 million.
Yeah.
You know what I would do.
And he's like, I don't care. This guy who's
I
gonna
know
waste
what
it.
you would do.
This guy who's gonna waste it in 5 years is gonna win.
I would see, you know what I would do, but I would genuinely do good things with 25 mil.
Right.
I'd put it in high interest returning, investments, and I would travel and support missionaries, and it would be great.
Yeah. And he's like, Jake, well,
The dream.
the dream.
Dude, I still have to go shopping.
He's
man.
gonna make me build a company first. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll do that too.
Yeah.
Woo!
Right.
You going shopping? Where are you going shopping?
I know. It's
Probably
like,
Albertsons.
oh, right now? Oh.
I still need to go.
Oh, this guy's
yeah.
got to go shopping.
Well, we started late, so we gotta go.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody, smash the subscribe button. Yes. Like our GOAD page. And then leave us a comment of some things that you want us to either cover or things that we have covered that you have questions about. Or if you want to just cuss us out or something, you can do that on the page too. We don't care. We're not thin-skinned or anything.
That's right. Go ahead and drink our Kool-Aid.
Yeah, drink our Kool-Aid, the little Jim Jones, action.
With no sugar?
No sugar. We don't do sugar here. Well, we're keto. We're all keto. So do that. But if you had to just pick one thing because you're lazy, then do the subscribe thing. It's one button. The episodes are automatically downloaded when they're launched. There's going to be a new episode comes out tonight at midnight. So you want to get access to that. Why do you want to have to remember to look for new episodes? They will drop right onto your phone every time they're released without you even having to think about it. All you got to do is subscribe.
Boom.
Is it that hard?
Boom.
Boom.
Bam.
Everybody good?
Good. Good night.
Out. Good night. I like that. Yeah, I do like that.